What's going on, guys? It's Mike. Hopefully, you guys have had a good weekend. As promised, this is going to be our weekly market outlook for May. What are we in? May 22nd. So, in terms of this week, there's really not much with economic calendar news. We have James Bullard talking tomorrow. We have another Fed president talking on Tuesday. I think the only big thing that's going to be happening is the initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then we also have PCE numbers, PCE core index numbers. So that's going to be probably your big market movers, at least this week. So Friday and Thursday, possibly. We also have consumer sentiment, which I think the Michigan consumer sentiment survey was sent out a couple weeks ago. So it could be a nothing burger this week. I think the big news this week is going to be the debt ceiling. As far as politicians, bureaucracy stuff going, there's just a lot of not much going on, a lot of talking and a lot of scapegoating and blaming. So there's a lot of fear. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of fear, but basically you're going to hear Biden blaming the Republicans or the Democrats blaming the Republicans for not getting the debt ceiling negotiated and fixed, and then vice versa. So you're going to hear a lot of that this week. So there could be some volatility there, but I think it should be honestly a nothing burger. But I will say that it could serve as a it could serve as fuel as for a cool down this week. So let's take a look at some of the charts. This is SPY. So SPY has had a massive run so far, and it's looking really, really strong. So it broke that 420 level this week, aftermarket too, and after hours, I think on Thursday. So the next strong resistance I have is 426.37. I do think right now our SPY is kind of beyond the Bollinger, it's a little far extended far beyond the Bollinger Bands here. I do think that a cool down is due. I do think that we should see a cool down to at least the 9, which is around 414. I do think that we should test out the breakout level. So we broke out of the February highs, which was 416.81, 417 ish. I think SPY should retest that level this week and see if we use that as support or we break down from there. After that, I do see a support level at 414, and then after that we break down, we see 410, and after 410 we see 404, and then we could revisit the 200. Now, could it die? Of course it could, right? But right now, this bull trend is strong. Look at this. I mean, oops, sorry. Whoops. Let's erase that. So let's take a look. Look at these. You have higher highs, or higher lows and higher highs. Okay. And since October, this bull trend's been pretty strong. So as far as I'm convinced, it's still buying the dip market. And until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to keep buying the dip. And if you're trying to figure out where to buy the dip, I've been using the daily 9 EMA. And then I've also been using the 34, the 89. And so these are obviously day trades. So if you are long and you're just trying to deploy money in long-term accounts, you could use the 9, the 21, the 34, the 89 as your risk levels. So, but that's my guess this week for SPY at least. I think that we're going to pull back, and also for the Qs. Tech's been running pretty hot. So in my opinion, for SPY to keep running, we need the other sectors to start and like get involved and participating. So the two that I'm looking at is healthcare and energy. So let's take a look at Microsoft real fast. Microsoft also running pretty hard. It is definitely reaching for all-time highs here. All-time highs around 345-ish. Can we get there? We can definitely get there with all this AI stuff. So I do think that we are due for a cool down. I want to see Microsoft test this 312.41 here and see what happens. If we break it, if we use that as support, if we break it, I think there's a good short opportunity. But you know what? To be honest with you, Microsoft, NVDA, and let's see, Meta and all these AI stocks. I'm kind of staying away, to be honest. So good segue to NVIDIA. NVIDIA is moving pretty strongly. We have a pivot point of 312.95. That's our last resistance level. We did break it this last week. We got up to around 318, and then we cooled back, and now we're sitting at 312.64. I definitely think that we could revisit all-time highs of around, what, for 346.05. This stock is a beast, man. It is killing, has been killing a bunch of shorts. Everybody's trying to short this thing, trying to find a top, and ooh, to no avail. They have been getting blasted, and in fact, the bulls have been using all the covered shorts to just keep moving this thing. So I do think that if we cool down, I really want to see a retest of 298 and 98 where it broke out, so the 300. I want to see where the daily closes. If it closes above 300 and the next day intraday it gets below it and it curls back up to above 300, I'm telling you, video is going to keep moving. So it's been really, really strong. Nothing is slowing this guy down. Earnings is coming up. It is coming up, I believe, on Thursday or Wednesday. So that's big. That's actually a big market mover this week. So NVIDIA is going to be huge. Apple as well. Apple is going for all-time highs. This thing's a beast too. We also had a double bottom. This last year we hit a double bottom, and I think a good price target for the double bottom is going to be basically all-time highs. And if you were to short, I guess I would take a small short there. But again, mega cap's been strong. So I don't know. There's definitely some feel here, but I don't know how much meat left is on this bone to keep moving. But again, don't take that as advice to short this thing. So yeah, the other one I'm looking at is IWM here. In order for SPY or the SPX, DIA, your other indices, the Nasdaq, I think in order for it to take the next leg up, the small caps have to move. And so far, it's been weak, really, really weak, except for this last couple, I guess these last 2 weeks. I really want to see what happens with this level right here at the 177.78. If we could break out of that, I think it's time to hop on that bull train. So there's a gap right here at 180. If we cover that gap, you guys can see that gap. Let me show you real quick here. We could start chugging along to the 190s again. So all this regional bank stuff obviously seems like it's in the rear mirror now. I just saw that Warren Buffett just bought a bunch in banks, and he deployed a bunch of cash in banks, and then I think some of these other hedge funds. I don't know who, to be honest, but I know Warren Buffett just bought a bunch of banks, financials at least. Energy is looking pretty bullish in my opinion. So this is the upper regression channel. So we have, again, all the circled points right here are the touches of the bottom of the regression channel. Every time we touched it, we've moved up, and it's bounced off pretty strongly. And we are approaching that level right now. I do think that energy's ready for and due for a bounce. It is under a lot of the important EMAs to get obviously bullish. So I really want to see it get above 82, which is the 200. And once it gets above the 200, then I think we could start, go ahead and marching towards your 90 levels again. So we'll see. I do think that energy is looking pretty good here, especially the fundamentals look so good, man. Like the cash flow, the profit margins, and we're never going to not need energy. In terms of trades that I'm looking at, okay, actually I'm going to leave this. This is ULTA. So this is ULTA. Actually, ULTA is having earnings on, what day is that? That is going to be this Thursday. So this is the anchored VWAP from the October lows, and we are right there at 489.78. And look, we're still in this bull trend, guys. higher lows, higher highs. I do see a bounce, kind of setting up nicely for earnings. Now, obviously, it could go, it could go down. But in terms of, beauty products, dude, it is not going away. And, during the massive sell off for Target in their earnings call in October or September or so, they were talking about how in all their categories, makeup or cosmetics is doing the best and keeping their profit margins up. So I think it's a good RR here. I mean, it's reached all-time highs and obviously sold off some, but man, it's looking pretty strong in my opinion. Next one I'm looking at is also Lululemon. We talked about this in the live stream. Kenny and I obviously agree that high-end retail is never going away. We took a look at Ferrari. Actually, I just want to show you the chart for Ferrari real fast. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh. All right. So anyway, Lululemon. I'm really looking at this guy right here. I want to see what happens in this. I think this is the 34. If we break the 34, 367.84. Next support level is 348, and we have a gap right there at 320. I definitely see us covering the gap right now. Earnings is coming up next week. So tomorrow, depending on what happens tomorrow, I might take a short, possibly, and then I'm gonna get out right before earnings. So, but in terms of fundamentals, Lululemon always crushes earnings. So this is just a trade, obviously not financial advice, but that's what I'm looking at this week. So with that being said, whatever trades you guys have, whatever suggestions, whatever stocks you guys are looking at, man, put it in the comments. I would like to hear what you guys are trading. In terms of this week, stay nimble. I do still think that this is a day trading market. We get a lot of range with the volatility in the news. So just stay nimble out there. And in terms of if you are trying to figure out whether or not you want to deploy in long-term, in your long-term accounts, I think I would hold off for a little bit for a pullback, and I think we're due for one. All right, so anyways, guys, have a good week, and we will see you hopefully next Saturday on the live stream. All right, have a good one.